All right. 3, 2, 1. That was pretty good.
I thought you were gonna be lying again.
No, I think that was really in sync. That's one of our better ones. I think I said that last week too, though. But what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Side Tangent. This is your boy Jared.
Hi, hello, hi. I'm Parker. If you notice that my voice went up in pitch, it's just because I'm nervous.
Why are you telling me to cut that? You're the one that edits the audio. No, you're gonna keep it in there, and you're gonna learn from this.
Well,
all right. If the fans don't like it, if the fan doesn't like it, it's coming out. How you doing, bro?
Good. It's while it was warm here in Utah, it's kind of gone back to cold, to icky cold, as some people would call it.
Yeah, dude. The snow, the rain the other day was crazy. It was like snow, rain, sleet, and then it was sunny.
Mm-hmm.
This state is ridiculous when it comes to its weather.
Okay, well,
it's ridiculous.
I think, but I also think that's most states, isn't it?
Not my state, Arizona.
Well, okay,
it's hot, and then it's not as hot.
Besides the few paradise states like California and your state, I feel like most states, that's just what happens.
I don't know. I know, like Arizona, it's hot. Everyone knows it's hot, but I know it's gonna be hot. It's not gonna snow on me randomly in the middle of April. It's gonna be hot in April.
Was there like a lot of, what are they called, like snowbirds? Where?
Yeah, it's a big thing in Arizona. There's a lot of retirement communities too. Like just
is it like is like the increase in population noticeable?
Not to me, but I'm also like, I feel like I was just so unobservant as a kid. Like so many things around me, like because I mean for me, I didn't even know, like I've never even been skiing or snowboarding.
Mm-hmm.
So like the whole concept of like all that just went right over my head. Now that I'm older, I understand. Like, and so at least where I lived in Arizona, it wasn't like the place to be. You know, it wasn't like rural or anything. It just was a very normal place to live. I think my neighborhood is the definition of middle class. Just very in the middle. Nothing too big, nothing too small. You didn't need to know all that.
No, it was still interesting. I've never been to Arizona. I want to.
I thought we went. No, you're right. That was someone else. My other friend with a speech impediment.
My cooler friend with a speech impediment.
Yeah.
He can't say his
Porter.
L's.
What's new with you, man? I ask you this question like I don't see you every day. We work together, but so I know it's new. Parker tried playing Yu-Gi-Oh! For the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Super fun. I'm a diehard Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. I love the game. I watched most of the shows. And what'd you think? What was your...
It was concerning because I can see myself... I'm staring now into the void of how much... Because, like, after we played, like, I was terrible both times, obviously, because I'm new. And then also the deck I have is fairly complicated. But even then... Just like afterwards, like I just want to think about Yu-Gi-Oh! I just want to think about my deck and like practice and stuff, and it's going to be downhill from here.
You'll get there,
or
buddy.
uphill. I don't know which is worse.
You'll get there. So you played Magic before, right?
Yeah.
So where do you like compared to Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh? Where do you stand? What's your opinion?
I think that like Magic makes a bit more sense because it kind of has like the power currency thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the cards are cooler in Yu-Gi-Oh! And this might also just be because I watched the show. Like,
yeah, there's some nostalgia behind Yu-Gi-Oh!
But like the monsters and stuff, just everything looks cooler on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, and it, like I don't know, it's just fun. And I guess in a sense, like the monsters are the currency. You're just sacrificing stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Like a pharaoh.
Magic, I finally learned how to play the Pokemon trading card game because there's the Pokemon trading card game app. That's what it's called, I think. But it's Magic and Pokemon have a very similar like system of just using the energies and stuff and different lands. I think Magic uses lands, Pokemon uses energies. I'm a sucker for trading card games though. I have a friend, shout out to Chris. He does the One Piece trading card game, he goes to tournaments and stuff, and he's telling me a little bit about it. It's growing. It's getting pretty popular, the One Piece trading card game. And so I think that's my next next one. The One Piece trading card game. Real quick, this is something that it's not going to be important to you at all. I'm just dumbfounded by it.
Okay.
So, there's an actress named Blake Lively. She's married to Ryan Reynolds. Deadpool.
Yeah. Wasn't she in the Deadpool movie?
Yeah, she played Lady Pool.
Yeah.
And she was in Green Lantern. That's how they met. That's how they kind of started their fling was on... anyways, so she was just in a movie recently called It Ends With Us. Did you guys see that one?
No, but that's the one about like abuse,
domestic abuse and like getting out of toxic relationships.
Because I just know because we went on the cruise to the Bahamas and stuff. That was the movie that they played on the big screen, like by the pool.
Wow, there's nothing more I want to see is a movie about domestic abuse.
Did anyone know? Because every time we were like, we'd be walking by all these families, just like shocked at what they were seeing.
Yeah, it's a really good movie, but there was a lot of drama around it. One, so the actor that plays the main guy in the movie, Justin Baldoni, he's also the director, and him and Blake Lively have been beefing like crazy. Now I don't know all the details of the beef.
Were they okay?
It was just about like. Creative differences during the movie. Maybe someone was flirting with the other, but the other one saying no, the other person was flirting with me too. And there was like maybe Blake Lively cheated on Ryan Reynolds with Justin Baldoni, but then just Ryan Reynolds got involved. It's a mess. I don't know the details. I can't speak to it. If someone wants to talk about it in the comments, you guys can. The reason why I'm talking about this is it's still going on. They have already made a documentary about it. It's on HBO Max right now. It's already there, and it's still happening. So I'm like, why did we like? It's just the speed at which documentaries are coming out is insane. It's insane. Like, there's already a full-length movie about this event that's still going on. Like, it's not even resolved yet. So that's just the current event that's been going on in my mind. Here's a funny, I know you didn't really know these people that I'm talking about. Here's a funny story from work. So Parker, we work together, and we have some pretty cool coworkers. We all sit together at lunch, and we're sitting at lunch. Parker had to work a little something, so he wasn't with us. And one guy I was talking about recently, Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan have broken up. It sounds like Barry Keoghan had cheated on her. This means nothing to Parker. And one of our coworkers didn't remember who Sabrina Carpenter's ex-boyfriend was. They didn't remember Barry Keoghan. He goes, man, I'm just really bad with celebrities. And I go, I can bet good money. I know for a fact that Parker knows less celebrities than you. And I can bet money that Parker doesn't know who Sabrina Carpenter is. Even though we've talked about Sabrina Carpenter on this very podcast.
We have?
We have.
Oh,
and
well.
I texted Parker. I'm like, hey, who's Sabrina Carpenter? And he goes, isn't that the teenage witch? And he goes, oh, no. She's the one that does the driver's license song, which was closer because Sabrina Carpenter is referenced in the song. But your ability to...
So is who is the guy? Barry Keoghan?
Barry Keoghan. That's him and Sabrina Carpenter were dating.
Is he the one that's the driver's license song is about?
No. The guy... So, here's the lore. Here's
okay.
Everything that I know. So, the driver's license song, it's sung by Olivia Rodrigo. She was in High School Musical, the musical. It's the new TV show that came out about high school music. It's like high school kids, and they're doing a play.
Doesn't that take place in Utah? I think I heard that.
Well, in the original, so I'm going.
Because I know the original High School Musical school is actually in Utah.
Yeah, the High School Musical, the musical. I have no idea where that's taking place.
Okay,
I haven't actually seen it. So,
yeah.
Olivia Rodrigo is on the show.
Was it in High School Musical, the series, the musical?
Yes. Well, without that last musical.
Okay.
And so it's about high schoolers, and they're doing the High School Musical play. So it's really
very meta.
Yeah, very meta. And there's another actor on there named Joshua Bassett, something like that. And he is an aspiring singer in real life as well. And they started dating in the show. Eventually they break up. Rumor has it that he cheated on Olivia Rodrigo with Sabrina Carpenter. Okay. Olivia Rodrigo drops the song Driver's License. And she has a line, you're always with that blonde girl who always made me doubt. The blonde girl she's referring to is Sabrina Carpenter.
Dang.
And then Sabrina Carpenter and Joshua Bassett, nothing ever happened. I don't know if anything happened there. And then Sabrina Carpenter goes on, she becomes famous, eventually dates Barry Keoghan. Barry Keoghan is in the hit movie The Eternals. Did you watch The Eternals?
Yeah.
He plays, he's the Irish guy that can hypnotize people. I forget his name.
He has like a...
Druid.
He has like a cult in the jungle.
Yeah, so that's Barry Keoghan.
Okay.
So him and Sabrina Carpenter start dating. Sabrina Carpenter and Barry Keoghan cheats on Sabrina Carpenter. They break up. And that leads us to right now that leads us to when our coworker didn't know who Barry Keoghan was, and I was like, Parker doesn't even know who Sabrina Carpenter is. That's all the lore. You might know Sabrina Carpenter from Girl Meets World.
I've never seen it.
Did you watch Boy Meets World?
No. Are these?
No, these are shows that were.
I only know Boy Kills World.
Yeah, well, that is referencing Boy Meets World. So, Boy Meets World was crazy. Well, there was a show, Boy Meets World. We were really young when it was out. If it might even came out before we were born. They do a spin-off series called Girl Meets World, and it's about the main guy from Boy Meets World and his girlfriend, now wife, from that show. They have a kid, and the main character is their kid, and her best friend is Sabrina Carpenter, who then the rest of the story that I told you earlier happens.
Being a Disney kid must be so tough.
Like an actor?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I hear a lot of stories, just like... Well, did you watch the Quiet on Set thing? This wasn't about Disney, but the Nickelodeon stuff.
But that was about, like, iCarly?
Well, iCarly falls into it, but it's just... So the producer of that show, Dan Schneider, guy's a scumbag. He's just like... He was like...
Oh, wait, because wasn't he, like, harassing them?
Yeah, he was being very inappropriate. Now, there was other people that they referenced. I don't remember their names, and I don't think they deserve their name to be spoken here. But they were doing actual things to some of the kids. One of them being Drake from Drake and Josh, and like Drake goes into this whole story. It's a very heavy documentary, but it's like it's just so interesting to watch, just because it's like, wow, I grew up watching all these shows. But yeah, I was just talking about, so Dan Schneider, he produced Drake and Josh, iCarly, Zoe 101, Victorious, Sam and Cat. So like some of the big shows that Nickelodeon had, and he was just, some of the things they had him doing on the show were just very inappropriate, and he just kind of like very scummy about it. And so the crazy thing is, so since you think Disney's already evil, the guy that did a lot of inappropriate things to Drake, that he somehow was able to get, like, he didn't go to jail. Even though there was Drake's testimony, there was like people like testifying against him. He had like a lot of celebrities vouch for him, and people just didn't believe him because people were like, no, there's no way this guy could have done that. And so that dude left Disney and he worked on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody on Disney Channel.
Do you mean he went to Disney?
Sorry, he left Nickelodeon.
Went to Disney.
Obviously got fired, and then he ended up working on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody for a little bit. So
is he still working for them?
No, I think he's in hiding now. I don't know. I don't think people really know where he's at, but it's a very sad documentary. It's really like
that's really sad.
You know, like people put their kids on a pedestal, and I don't know, or like we as children, like we think that these kids are like living the dream over here, and then some of them are going through like all these awful things, and like all for, you know, we're all just sitting there laughing at it and being entertained by the whole thing. It's I don't know. It's intense. I don't know how I got on this.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, Sabrina. Oh, you said it's hard being a Disney kid.
Yes.
So even like despite all that's, like, those are very extreme things that are happening, but like even that plus just the pressure alone of like trying to live up to your, you know, trying to make it in the acting world and not being stuck to any kind of role or anything like that. It's also very telling how many, you know, child actors kind of go crazy after when they grow up, or like they don't really make anything of themselves after.
Because you have so much pressure when like your brains start developing and stuff, and like so much, like I could never. It's
just like, I'm just imagining too, like this is everything you're banking on, and then it doesn't work out. Like I mean, who wouldn't like kind of go off the deep end a little bit?
Yeah,
it's scary stuff. But as a kid, I would have loved to do it. I would have loved to have been on a show. This one kid at my elementary school told me that he was going to be on Nickelodeon. I believed him. No, looking back, I'm like, I cannot believe I actually met that dude.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so I gave you a lot of lore there.
No, that was
Not
interesting.
just real life.
You explain more, because news stories always are just like, this person is like, I don't know who that is, but you'd make a good news reporter.
No, I can't read that fast. I would stumble over my words too much. Yeah. There's that. Dude, what's going on with those pyramids, dude? We were talking about that.
Because I've only heard it from two people. Is this actually been, like, is this an actual thing?
Let me say to viewers and listeners at home, if you're not caught up what's going on, apparently there's been, like, these pillars that were found underneath the pyramids because of 3D imaging advancements that we've been able to create. And people are saying that they were for sure batteries and that it was able to conduct electricity. Now,
wait, I'm the one that said the battery part. Or unless that's added. Who have you heard this from?
You're one of them.
Okay.
You and Moses from last week's episode.
Yeah.
That's when I first heard about it, and I've seen some videos about it, talking to some people.
So okay.
So you're not the only person that told me that it was batteries.
Really?
So I was telling our coworkers about this. I say all this with the smallest grain of salt. Like, I'm not saying that it's real. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting that it's coming from multiple sources.
Okay.
And so that's all I know. I don't know if you have more information.
Well, all I can, because like all I heard that there's metal rods that could be conductive, and I don't know if anyone watching used to be a big MythBusters fan, but they had an episode forever ago, and I can't exactly remember how they did. There was like some random pots that was found in some ancient Egyptian tomb that had like these weird chemicals inside, chemicals that we recognize now as necessary ingredients for like car batteries. So it was like, is this being used to make mummies, or did they like invent batteries? And I think the MythBusters were able to prove that they can store electricity. So like,
that's wild.
They might not have been batteries, but chemically everything was set up to be a battery. So like, probably the two aren't connected, but there's potential.
Do you want it to be true? Do you want it to be batteries? Personally.
Do I want to know that if the Egyptians had an early understanding of electricity? I mean, I would, because I think if most people, if they heard that, they'd be like, oh, aliens, and like they were like super advanced and stuff. It's like, I don't think necessarily. Like, it could honestly just be that they could like understand how to collect static electricity and use it for like weird, like pseudo-religious stuff. Yeah. I feel like it wouldn't be that earth-shattering. It would just be really interesting for me personally. Or aliens, I don't know.
I'm in the opinion, I think I've reached a point in my life where I don't want to be scared of the truth. So I say that with like every conspiracy theory that anyone ever tells me, I try to have the idea that if it was true, I won't be too surprised. But if it's not true, I won't be too surprised either way. Either way, and that might be a fence-sitting way of living life, you know. But so for in this case, if it was true, if they were storing electricity, I want to believe it. I don't want to be a naysayer and just not believe, take things how they are. It is a crazy thing to assume. But I mean, the idea that maybe there was like advanced civilization before our advanced civilization, like that idea doesn't seem too far-fetched. It's not as far-fetched as like aliens. Like aliens helping them build the pyramid seems a little too far-fetched. But like the idea that maybe they had a basic understanding of all these things and like technology that was advanced beyond its years, that doesn't seem too far-fetched.
Or they use the electricity for Yu-Gi-Oh! Because as we know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is from ancient Egypt.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Either that, or from the hit movie Transformers 2: Rise of the Fallen. Yeah. It's a beacon to bring Cybertron to Earth.
Dude, yeah.
That's not what that thing did. I forgot what that thing. No, that thing harvests the power of the sun.
Or it harvests the power of the Earth. Hollow Earth. It's all coming.
It's all coming.
That's where the dinosaurs from Ice Age and the Transformers are.
Yeah. And Godzilla and King Kong and Mothra.
And Godzilla, King Kong, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson in Journey to the Center of the Earth 2.
Yes, featuring Josh Hutcherson and Vanessa Hudgens.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very good. It's all
we figured it out.
Yeah.
We've solved the pyramids.
So don't even bother looking it up. Don't bother fact-checking us. We just solved it. Take it from us.
Your premier source of news, Side Tangent, coming at you live, Sevens.
I know this episode's coming out later, but rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Did you know he passed away? Yeah. Sad.
It is sad.
You know who Val Kilmer is?
Yes. Though I only know because I learned about him from the second Top Gun.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I forgot he played. My mom's really into the movie Tombstone.
I've heard it's.
Oh, dude, you would love Tombstone.
I know. Yeah, I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, he plays Doc Holliday in it, and he's super BA as Doc Holliday. So rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Yeah. Do you have has there been a celebrity death that like impacted you the most?
Ooh, good question. I mean, I guess probably. Well, this is embarrassing because now I can't think of his real name. Snape.
Oh, Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, yeah.
I think it was more like that one was sad just because of like.
That's a good answer.
Just like the fan, like everyone. I feel like because there's some celebrity deaths when people like when they pass away, it's of course sad, but like that one was very everyone was very reverent almost in a way that I hadn't seen before, so that made it more impactful for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like when he died, it was kind of like Harry Potter had finished up not too long prior to that, right? He died. Yeah, he died after Harry Potter's already finished up, and Harry Potter's been. I correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the highest selling piece of fiction. One Piece might have passed it though, but not to take but no. That I personally don't have that connection with Harry Potter as other people do, but I can imagine. Yeah, one that I remember, like I was like, it was Bernie Mac. He's in I'm trying to think of something that you would know him from. He was a comedian, but did you watch the first Transformers movie?
Yes.
He's the guy that originally sells Sam the car.
Like at the
used car lot. Yeah. He plays, that's the only one I'm like, what show did Parker see Bernie Mac on? That one was because I grew up watching a lot of different movies that he was in. He was a comedian. My parents really liked him. And so that was the one that kind of got me. And then Matthew Perry dying lately. He was from the show Friends.
Yes.
Emily is a diehard Friends fan, and so that was a big one. What's funny? My aunt, when Michael Jackson died, she called crying. Said, like, please get your mom. Michael Jackson died, and I was like, oh, okay, Mom, Michael Jackson dead. Like, it's like Michael Jackson's funny. It's a very weird legacy he left behind.
It's a very strange. They're bringing that movie soon.
Really? I wonder who's playing Michael Jackson. Is it like a biopic or is it like a documentary?
It's like a biopic.
They've already made a documentary out.
Because it's like his relative or something, I think.
Oh.
I honestly, because like, I feel like most of what I knew about Michael Jackson is just things that were told to me either on the news on TV before I went to elementary school, or told to me on the recess during like elementary school. So most of it was just like early 2000s, and then I just like stopped. So I don't know that much about his live action. I just know like probably the negative highlights, and that's about it, and his music.
Yeah.
So that'd be an interesting movie to watch.
Yeah, I'd be curious. What's very interesting is a lot of people, with all the hype around Taylor Swift, a lot of people are comparing her to Michael Jackson, which I think is a stupid topic to talk about. I think both are great in their own way.
Sure.
Like it's not really comparable because it's just different. But someone was talking, I think it was one of our friends, but we were talking about it, just like how do you compare the two? And I think it's just different. Like Taylor Swift is so huge, but we live in a day and age now where you can see like celebrities' lives just on your phone. Like you can see them, like, and so like people get a lot of Taylor Swift content because it's everywhere, even if it's not directly coming from her. And like you can listen to her music whenever you want, it's on your phone. But like I think to Michael Jackson's credit, he lived in a day and age where like people didn't really even know it. Like you didn't see Michael Jackson on anything. You only saw him, like, if you saw him in person, that was like the first time you probably saw him without that on TV. And so you don't get to see him a lot. So when he shows up and, like, all those people fainting and stuff, it's like, it's probably because they don't have a lot of Michael Jackson stuff that just...
That's a fair point.
It's just different. But you can also argue with Taylor Swift, like, she's this big despite people knowing everything that there is to know about Taylor Swift in a really creepy way. And they still, like, crash the doors and get in, as like pack the stadiums, wait outside. It's if you're one of those people who are arguing Michael Jackson with Taylor Swift, stop. It's stupid. It's a dumb argument. It's like you can't compare the two. They're both very different, both very great in their own ways. Is there a celebrity that you would lose your mind over? And like if they were coming to town and like you would pull all the stops to go see them?
Probably Shigeru Miyamoto, the creator of Mario and Zelda.
Oh, yeah, you would love that. You love that, you little Mario slut.
I think it would be cool. Because he seems like such a nice guy, and he's always on, like, Jimmy Fallon. He's, like, playing guitar and stuff and music.
Oh, he plays guitar.
He does a ton of things.
That's so impressive.
Because I feel like, at least he's talking about how, like, most inspirations for his games just come from hobbies in his real life, and that's why he just does a lot of things. He like Zelda and Mario, kind of based on him like exploring wilderness as a kid. He made a bunch of music games because he just picked up playing music recently. Apparently, he just wants to like walk or ride his bike to Nintendo HQ every day, but he's now too valuable to Nintendo, so they won't let him do it. They force him to drive there, or they force a limo to drive him.
Is he not in charge? Well, He's
just too creative.
It's like, did you ever watch the Teen Titans Go movie?
No.
Not Teen Titans Go. Sorry, just the Teen Titans like the regular Teen Titans movie.
No, I didn't know there was one.
Okay. How much? Okay, I'm gonna dive into it since I already brought it up.
Sure.
So it takes place in Japan.
Oh,
you go to Japan, and then there's this.
This is like the original Teen Titans.
Yeah.
When it was like edgy and stuff.
When they were like cool and just like way too mature for kids.
Okay.
So they go to Japan, and there's an enemy out there. His name's Brushogun. So he's like a Sai from Naruto, where he paints things and then they come to life. And so there's this figure like, oh, this is Brushogun. They're trying to fight all the time. This is where Robin and Starfire's love starts to kindle more. They kiss in the movie.
Spicy.
Oh, spicy.
Oh my god.
Anyways, but they find out that Brushogun is actually held captive by someone else in Japan, and it's just this old dude, and like his hands are on this roller, and they like force him to create these paintings that come to life, and then like fight for them. And so it's like an Iron Man 3 when like Trevor is like the face that goes really the Mandarin behind the whole time. Except Brushogun wasn't a bad guy; he was being forced to do it. So nothing like Iron Man 3. So that's why I feel like Nintendo's doing with Miyamoto is just like forcing him there is like make something, do something. Except they're not doing it for evil purposes.
That's fair.
Yeah. So just a bunch of lore for you today.
Speaking of which, can I share some lore with you?
Yes, please.
How are we doing on time?
I can't see the clock. I don't know.
Because I have two options. If we're going too long, though, I can do the short.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Why not?
Okay.
These guys gotta know where to be. If they had somewhere to be, they wouldn't be listening to our podcast right now.
Okay, I'll give you the context after.
Okay.
But do you want option big boat or option bigger boat?
Big boat.
Big boat?
Yeah.
Okay, let's say bigger boat.
I know what you guys are thinking. I should have went with bigger boat because it's bigger. But knowing Parker, big boat has some heat to it.
Okay. So very random thing about me is one of my favorite things to study and collect is stories about modern failed utopias.
Okay.
And most of these are like crazy libertarian billionaires, and almost always rich people are always trying to create like these perfect utopias, and especially in the 90s and 2000s and modern day, they've been trying to do seasteading, basically go to international waters, build a floating or artificial island somehow, and then that way they don't have to pay taxes. Basically, that's it.
Gotcha.
And I love learning about these things. I think it's fascinating. So the smaller boat that we're going to talk about actually happened much recently, from 2020 to 2021. Have you heard of the boat Satoshi?
No.
I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, then
I can guarantee you neither of these stories I've heard before.
Well, the bigger boat definitely haven't. But okay, so crypto.
Okay.
Big thing.
Yes.
Crypto people are a lot of like people that get into cryptocurrencies is because they're super libertarian, where they just want as little to no government as possible so they can just be billionaires without any taxation. That's kind of like the idea of why some people find cryptocurrency so appealing, is just because there's really no oversight. So one, that's why there's so many scams, but that's why also so many people are like, this is awesome. And again, in like the early 2000s, there was a ton of attempts to create a crypto libertarian society just floating in the ocean. And this has been happening since the 1800s, and all of them failed. So 2020 happens, COVID happens,
right?
The cruising industry is basically to a standstill. No one's using cruise ships. So a bunch of crypto bros get together and they're like, well, since all this money's going down, this is the perfect time for us to buy a cruise ship and turn it into a floating nation.
Oh.
And thus is born the Satoshi. It was originally called...
I think I did hear about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was originally called the Pacific Dawn. My understanding was that some weird virus happened on it, like some super gross virus, and that's also
Was the virus COVID?
No, it was like a weird, like... Well, I had been told it was like...
COVID-20?
I had been told it was like a weird STD or something, and that's...
Ah.
But now I can't find that anywhere, so maybe I misheard that. The only thing I found was that it had like swine flu on it. So...
Wow, swine flu.
Yeah, how's that?
Wow. Yeah, COVID was over here taking all the spotlight. Swine flu was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Let's forget about the OGs here, you know?
So I can
The plague comes back.
I was under the understanding that there was a disease that had happened on the ship that probably had been cleaned out, but that contributed to already being cheaper, and then COVID really made it on sale, if you will. But I couldn't find anything to support that. But either way, these crypto bros get together and they bought it for, according to this, around $9.5 million. So they named it Satoshi because apparently that's the random mysterious Japanese man that created cryptocurrency. And the idea was that they were going to have it close to Panama. So I guess in national waters, but Panama would agree to like not do anything about it. And there's like, you'd pay like, I don't know, like $1,000 or something, you'd be able to live on the ship. It would just basically be a place for you to say like, I'm like a citizen of this random cruise ship nation.
Okay.
So the thing with cruise ships, and I should know this because as a kid, I dreamt of buying a cruise ship on my own and having it as a personal yacht. I was so determined that
I want it to be like the Red Power Ranger, but you're like, I want to own a cruise ship.
No, I
very different childhoods.
I even found like childhood journals and diaries where it's like, now listen, Parker, when you're older, you're gonna start thinking like, oh, I don't want a space that big because it'd be too much to clean. Or you start thinking about like being a good person, not earning that money. Don't listen, like a kid, 8-year-old me.
Yes.
You need to get a cruise ship. I was like, don't let go of that dream. Don't let the flame die out. It died out. But these guys
currently don't have a cruise ship.
Yeah, but these guys were literally living my dream. But the thing with cruise ships is that they cost a lot to maintain and to run and stuff like that. So like, yes, with all their money put together, they could buy the cruise ship, but they never actually stepped foot in it because on the way to Panama, I was just like this one crew, and that was all that was on the ship. A bunch of legal entities were like, well, are you going to insure this? Are you going to get it repaired so it's actually seaworthy and all this stuff? And no one had the money for it because they spent all their money buying the Satoshi. So like basically on the way to Panama, the crews informed like, hey, like all the people have bailed on it. There's no one that owns this anymore. Like it's just there's nothing, like the port authorities are going to capture it because no one is paying the taxes on this. So you're all basically going to be kicked off the boat the second you get home. So there's like, I guess, videos and pictures of all the crew like getting drunk on the free champagne and stuff and just partying.
Now I remember all this. Yeah. Okay.
And
that's hilarious, dude.
So no one thought it through. It got taken by the Panamanian authorities, I think. Some other company bought it and now it's been sold for parts.
Dude, it's very interesting. Like, it's kind of the dangerous part of making money really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's this is like slightly off topic, but there was like a documentary I watched of just it's shocking how many professional athletes just go bankrupt like how fast. It's just like getting that much money fast. Not saying that crypto is the problem because there's a lot of people who are like very smart about it. Like I remember when it was kind of up and coming, Bitcoin in particular. I think like someone was explaining it to me, and I was like, "You're an idiot! Like what is you actually talking about? There's just this piece of code that like makes money, like or that whatever my mind at the time was understanding it to be." And and I look back on it, and I'm like, "Wow, I'm an idiot." But anyways, besides the point,
that still remains to be determined. But it's like there's
depending on when you decide to cash out.
That's true.
Determine whether you're an idiot.
But there's been a lot of even like again, love failed utopias. Yes. There's been a lot of modern failed utopias connected to cryptocurrency, and it's the same thing where they like make too much money too quickly, and they're scared that someone would take it, and so then they spend it all like trying to create this perfect place, and then it inevitably fails.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't know, that plan altogether was just not very thought out. Just because you're still on a boat and you gotta like, where are you gonna go?
You that's it. You would just be stuck there off the shore of Panama, from what I understand. You know what? I'm gonna bring up the other one.
Okay.
Since you bring that up, this one will be shorter. This is one of my favorite things in the world. Have you heard of the Freedom Ship?
No.
Same concept. Made in the 1990s though, so this one was a bit older. And the idea is they were going to build the largest boat in the world and just have it constantly circumnavigating the world. So it technically was never part of any country, and you would just live there. It was so big that it would like, the upper deck was going to be like an airport to let planes and stuff take off.
Okay.
Giant. It was about.
That's insane.
It was about 5,900 feet long. It would store about like 80,000 people, just like a floating city.
Right. 80,000 people.
80,000 people.
Whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can even find. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to say. Well, when this is a video, we can like pop up a picture of it before.
Okay,
but
yeah.
it just looks like literally like a giant building on its side. Have like hospitals, casinos, commercial stuff. What blah 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 blah. So they got all these investors together in 1999, and they said it was going to cost $6 billion, and then in 2002 it was going to be $11 billion. And now the last time anyone talked about it, apparently it's $10 billion again in 2016. And
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, $10 billion sounds really low for something like this.
That's
That's
what I'm
extremely
saying.
low. It sounds like that
really?
freaking submarine that people try to go on.
Oh jeez, this is a bad picture. That's what it looks like. I'll send a better one for the video. So it's
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But it's like, that's such a delicious, like, obviously an evil villain idea, where it's just like a boat that's a behemoth. The current largest cruise ship, the current largest boat in history that just got made is this cruise ship. It's giant.
I saw a picture. I think Royal Caribbean did it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Freedom ship would be more than 4 times larger. Like dwarfing anything we've ever built before. And apparently it only costs $10 million. But the whole point...
Million or billion?
Billion.
Yeah, either way, it's still...
It's going to be more than $10 billion. But either way, the whole point is just so rich old people can live on it, so they don't have to pay taxes. It's even conceivable that like most of the time you won't live there. You just live there long enough to have your nationality as freedom ship. But it's so cool because it's like this weird 90s retrofuturism giant boat. It's like Snowpiercer, but in the water.
I don't know what Snowpiercer
Okay,
is.
it's the same director as Parasite and
like the
Mickey 17. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just like it's a train that's super capitalistic and goes around the world 24/7.
Oh.
And
I gotta check that out. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah. It has Chris Evans.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, he knew that one.
Yeah.
Dude, that was super informative. This was a very informative for both of us, I think.
Very informative
episode. Yeah. Well, I think that's a good place to leave off.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys get rich, don't try to build a city on a boat.
But if you do, can I please like
buy the insurance?
Yeah, buy the insurance.
Buy the warranty. Pay the extra.
Hey, maybe you guys will finally be the first successful, like.
And we believe in you.
I believe it. I want someone to succeed.
And if you guys get big and famous, start Dystopian, please let Side Tangent be the official podcast of your Utopia Society. We would love to sponsor you.
I want someone to succeed.
Yeah, we want whoever one of you guys just do it. Go out and do it. You can make your dreams reality. We started with podcasts, but you surpass that and go build a freaking Utopia Society on a boat. Love you guys. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other things, TikTok, Instagram, yada yada yada, all that good stuff. Okay, love you. Bye.